Hi, my name is Zien. I'm studying Diploma in Social Work in MCKL. My passion is to serve the marginalized communities in Malaysia, especially the minorities like the natives, through social work profession. It can be empowering them to have sustainable income, advocate for their rights so that they gain better education and have more job opportunities. And it also can be creating public awareness so that people learn to treat them with respect. I came to know about Diploma in Social Work in MCKL is because I was being introduced to this course by an organization named His Team. At first, I have totally no idea about social work and this course, but as I read the details from the brochure, I find the subjects very interesting and it suits my passion. I think Diploma in Social Work helps me to be better equipped with professional knowledge, values and skills in helping people. And as a youth, I would say that this course would help me to discover my life purpose and to be clearer about my future path. And I believe social work makes my life more meaningful because I'm able to do what I love to do, because my passion is about serving the people, and at the same time I'm able to contribute and to bring changes in society. I was exposed to a cross-cultural mission training which is organized by the organization I just mentioned, His Team. So I got the 10-month training in Sabah, so it helps me to recognize the culture of the natives in Sabah, what contributes to them to be in the poverty. So I think it's because of that exposure, so I came to know about this course. And at the same time, while I was studying this course, since it is a part-time course, so I'm part-time working in this organization as well. So it's like 1 year and a half like that.
Social work?
Yes, I do. I'm like I have like any typical Chinese family, because social work is not widely recognized by public and also the government. So of course my family worries, but because I think my relationship with my family is quite close, and I often share my dreams and my thoughts to them, so they trust me. They know that I'm clear about my decision. So it's not about convincing, but it's based on the trust. And also my family witnessed my growth from my experience in Sabah, and then after that how I keep showing my passion to do something more meaningful, not just studying a course and merely graduating and get employed with high salary, but something that I can do for the society. I actually intended to be an advocate for the needy, especially the natives who are very close to my heart. I mean, of course, a lot of people question that, so what's next after you graduate from this course? Since social work is not a profession that is recognized yet, so social work plays a great role in many fields, but for me, I would like to influence the government sector, in terms of how they create public policies that really benefits all Malaysian citizens regardless of their race. So despite of advocacy, it can be through an organization, it can be through working with the government agencies, but at the same time I could also to educate, to create public awareness to the public. To learn about what is happening in Malaysia, what is happening, what are the injustice things happening to the natives. And also I could, just like what I've mentioned, when the natives are in court, so if I am the social worker and the advocate, I can help to voice out, I could come up with an assessment, why this person has this issue is because due to can be an environmental factor and this and that. So the professional knowledge about can be psychosocial factors, can be environmental factors that contribute to these issues. So it helps the court to make the best decision for this. I think everyone wants to feel that they are capable to contribute to something, and we are all looking for life purpose. To me personally, social work really gives me the meaning of life because I got to know about my calling because I went through the social work training, and also studying this course, it helps me to understand more about human and more about myself and more about others and more about the world around me. So I think this is not about just a profession of helping people, and it's not like, helping people just requires you to be compassionate enough. But it's not that case. There are many times where we wanted to help, but sometimes with good intentions, but we do bad things for the person. So I think social work helps us to really to know what are the skills and values to have in us, so that we know that we help people with the right attitude and with the skills and values. And also, it's not a volunteer work, it's a profession that makes your life meaningful, and a profession that is able to bring changes to those that maybe people once say, this is hopeless. But actually, through social work profession, we can make a little bit changes through small actions. Okay, so for me, being a volunteer is just like, so I was appointed to do some jobs, then I'll just do it. I don't have to question why, and the helping process will not be in depth. But after gaining the social work knowledge, because social work is not about how to help people, but also to understand why this person has this behavior, and it really helps us to make judgment, because there are many times where we feel hopeless for certain people. This person must be like that, must be like this, so we won't approach that person. We actually lose a chance to get to know more about this person. But after knowing the professional knowledge, I started to see people with different perspectives, so that it helps me to judge a person, not meaning being judgmental, but to be able to know, it helps me to understand human being in wider perspective. Yeah, so it actually greatly affected how I interact with that person, how I view that person, and also will affect my behavior, my action. Yeah, sometimes being a social worker can be like, being multi-talented. You must know a lot. In terms of knowing the legal system thing, yes, it is required very much, because social work is not about being everything, being the solution for the client, but to actually know what other resources can be connected in the community, so that the client that approaches for help, maybe that client needs a clinical advice, but I am a social worker, I'm not a doctor, but I would know that, so based on the client's situation, I could refer her to which profession. Yeah. So about the funding, I think it is only required to know about this only when we are working in a non-government organization or a non-profit organization. So the funding thing, I don't think it's a main issue to look into through social work profession, because social work profession doesn't mean it doesn't mean that the income is sustainable that you have to keep looking for donation. It is more to working in NGO. It's quite different because social work can be also working in government agencies where the income is come from the government, come from the citizens. You don't have to worry about it. So I think funding skills and knowledge is not so much about how we learn from the social work profession. It's more on the field working experience in an organization that requires funding for the sustainable income. My advice, I don't advise, but I would encourage youth like similar to my age, close to my age, that if you have a dream, if you have an ambition to bring changes about something you really feel angry about, you really feel frustrated about, that you really wish to have a transformation, I would encourage you to consider social work as your a career for a lifetime, because it really helps us to like my experience, it helps me to discover my life purpose. It helps me to know what's my passion. And since social work is a very wide thing, and I'm very enjoy the engagement between people. So it really helps me to grow, helps me to learn, and it helps me to know that my life is not merely meeting the expectations of people. You have to graduate in a university that is very famous, and then you get a job with high salaries, but something beyond that, the motivation for your entire life that makes your life very meaningful, and you'll be proud of yourself for doing what you're doing. Yeah.